On the November 5th of 2024, the United States witnessed its 60th election in the nation's history, where Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris and began the era of Trump 2.0. Today, we are diving into a topic that is making waves: the potential impact of Trump 2.0 tariffs on the global economy. What could this mean for inflation, trade, and you? Let's explore. Donald Trump's first term in 2016 introduced an era of aggressive US trade policies centered around tariffs and sanctions. The aim to reduce trade deficits, encourage domestic production, and address what the administration called unfair trade practices. But did tariffs achieve their goal? History suggests otherwise. While tariffs aim to protect domestic industries, they often lead to an unintended consequences, like higher costs for businesses reliant on imported materials. Imagine a manufacturer dependent on imported steel. Higher tariff mean higher expenses and tougher decisions. Now, fast forward to Biden's administration. While Biden re-engaged with allies and focused on multilateral policies, he didn't abandon Trump's tariffs on China. Instead, Biden doubled down, targeting sectors like semiconductor and electric vehicles. This strategy also includes new legislation, like the Inflation Reduction Act and Chips and Science Act, aiming at promoting US manufacturing and safeguarding national interests. These moves reflect broader shift in how US approaches its trade, emphasizing reshoring industries and reducing dependency on foreign supply chains. After Donald Trump's return to office in 2025, expect a more assertive, transactional, and isolated trade approach. Pressure on China will intensify, and tariffs could target countries running large trade deficits with US or engaging transshipment of goods. But it won't just be about China. Trump policies might also extend to other nations deemed to have unfair trade practices or those facilitating tariff circumvention. Specific sectors like semiconductor, electric vehicles, and steel, which are critical to national security, could see amplified scrutiny. How will tariffs affect the economy? Tariffs often lead to higher costs for businesses and consumers. For instance, a 20% tariff on imported goods doesn't mean the price rise by 20%, but we could see an average increase of around 8%. That's because tariffs are applied on dock side, not on the entire supply chain. However, the story doesn't end there. Tariffs can create a narrative that allows companies to expand profit margin, pushing prices even higher. For the Federal Reserve, this complicates decision making. As tariffs drive inflation, tighter monetary policy could fall. That means interest rate will increase further. Other than that, businesses reliant on imports might pass their cost on to consumers, potentially slowing the growth in key sectors. For the rest of the world, US tariffs could depress economic activity and create deflationary pressures. Countries that export heavily to US might face surpluses in goods and disrupting their own economies. Take China for example. Its reliance on exports of electronics and consumer goods to the US could result in declining trade volumes. This might trigger shift in their manufacturing strategy or efforts to diversify trade partnerships. Currency movements also come into play. A stronger US dollar might offset tariffs on American consumers, but it's unlikely to signify after import prices due to USD based invoicing for most of the international trade. Now, let's focus on India. While India's direct exposure to US tariffs is relatively limited compared to countries like China, certain sectors could feel the hit. Export driven industries such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, and IT services could face challenges if the US imposes tariffs on goods or services deemed competitive with American businesses. Additionally, tariffs on intermediate goods or raw material like steel could disrupt supply chains and increase production costs for Indian manufacturers. However, there is a silver lining. As the US seeks reduced dependency on China, India could emerge as an alternative partner for trade and investment. India's growing focus on Make in India and its free trade agreements with other nations might also position it to mitigate some of the potential downsides. Strategic policymaking and market diversification will be the key to navigate the tariff heavy global trade environment. So, what does this mean for you? Universal tariffs could increase costs on everyday items like clothing or electronics and might even affect jobs in several sectors tied to global trade. For policymakers, the challenge lies in balancing domestic economic goals with realities of global interdependence. Will tariffs strengthen the economy or it isolate it further? A potential return of Trump's tariff-heavy trade policies is a wild card for global economy. What do you think? Are tariffs an effective tool or they cause more harm than good? Let us know in comments below. See you next time. Thanks.